How you doing? I thought I'd start off this morning talking about the mummy, and I'll also mention that the main purpose of the Kmite system, other than resurrection of the soul from the body after death of the body, was education, the attainment of knowledge. This is what they're talking about when they discuss transformation in the scriptures, to transform from ignorance to knowledge. To them, the ancient Egyptians or the Kemites, ignorance was hell and knowledge was heaven. So getting back with the mummy, we see that when a novice came into the Egyptian temple, they cleared his personality out. They eradicated his earthborn personality, the personality that the novice acquired during his life on earth. What he learned from his parents, what he learned from his friends, what he learned from anyone, which became a part of his personality, was eradicated. He was left without any of his past mental processes relative to his personality. The personality was what he thought he was. He thought that that personality that he had was his true being, which it is not. The personality is an acquisition that we made in this life, and it is an acquisition that had to be dropped, left behind as though it were dead, never to be used again by the novice once he entered the temple. So he became like a child, you see, but within the flesh body, okay, which was actually the mummy wrappings. The flesh body was the mummy wrappings. The true seed is within. And it is this seed that we must develop, gestate, to the point where we will assimilate to it. That is, once we make our transformation, we become one with the seed which has developed within our bodies. We transform, okay, into this new being that we create within ourselves. Now, in the ancient Egyptian scriptures, we see that there is the mummy, and we see, for example, Kim-Heru or Amsu-Heru, who was a child of the father, actually, breaking through with his right hand raised up in victory, and he has his emblems of dominance and success in his hand. And this indicates that he has overcome the flesh body, or that he has overcome the mummy wrappings. And he has made his transformation, he has made his achievements, and he becomes what we will call a Saurus N. N has to do with energy. The glyph for N is like the sine curve. They say, some refer to it as water. Okay, that's energy. But it is electromagnetic energy also. And it is this this electromagnetic energy that flows through our body, that we must gain control of. In so doing, we balance ourselves. We have achieved the balance once we overcome the dominance of an electromagnetic energy within our bodies that sort of runs rampant at times. For example, anger, extreme happiness, desires, self-esteem, feelings of self-importance is in effect this energy within us that is beyond our actual control. We want to gain control of this energy. This is the N. When we speak of Osiris N, this is the N that we're talking about, electromagnetic energy that we must control in our bodies. And Osiris N is one who has went through the initiation process and who has gained control of this energy. This is the same energy that we refer to as the Ka. For example, when we see a Ta or Kanum sitting at the potter's wheel, where Ta makes the child, but he then makes the child's Ka, which is actually N, the electromagnetic energy that gives us locomotion, that enables us to move and get around, etc., and think, and do whatever else that we do. This is the energy that we're talking about. So Ta, the god Ta, makes the child's Ka and puts it in the child. But this Ka, some people refer to it as the soul, but they will have to, it will have to be developed. It's just there. It needs to be developed such that it becomes the being within the child that the host of the child, the person, must assimilate to. Like in God the Father assimilated to the Christ. Okay? But this N needs development. So N is equivalent to the Ka, which is equivalent to the electromagnetic energy that flows through our body. Ta, the god Ta, on the potter's wheel makes the child's Ka, but it has to be developed. In other words, people have to develop their souls. And until this happens, that electromagnetic energy is in control of the person. This is how a person is controlled by his feelings. He makes decisions largely based on his feelings, as opposed to based on his knowledge, which is self-knowledge. Develop self-knowledge requires that you control this energy within. And once this is done, you can say that the person has made his transformation. And as a consequence, he's one of the initiated in the Kimite temples and other temples also, you see. So Ta, sitting at his potter's wheel, is talking about the solar system. In other words, the potter's wheel is equivalent to the solar system, or it represents the solar system. So this tells us that the solar system has influence on our being. Perhaps from the time of birth, when we take our first breath through the nose, okay, we are taking in cosmic energy that has come to Earth. Okay.